Here we go, we're live. So welcome everyone. Welcome on Instagram and on Facebook in the group and also on the Digital Yoga Academy Facebook page. I'm Kelly McHugh. I'm the founder of Digital Yoga Academy and I'm here every Tuesday at the same time to do a live yoga business coaching and training session with you. So welcome and thank you for joining me. I can see people are starting to join. So as you join, do let me know where you're watching from, say hello. And today's coaching session is on the topic of online yoga courses. It's on the topic of how do you find your topic? How do you find your online yoga course topic? Okay, so this is something that people struggle with, that teachers struggle with, because they quite like the idea of taking their teaching online. But when it comes to actually sitting down and working out what they're going to offer, that's when they get stuck. Okay, so that's what today's coaching session is all about. So if you're just joining me on Instagram or on Facebook, let me know where you're calling, let me know where you're watching from. Do say hello. And we will get started. So today's coaching session is all about online courses and how to find your course idea for an online yoga course. And before we begin, really, I just wanted to say that, you know, everybody has an online course in them. Okay, so you might be thinking, well, I don't know what I would teach, and that's what this training is about, but everyone has an online course in them. Okay, and the reason I say this is that, you know, you don't have to be this mega expert to teach something online. Yoga teachers are in fact the perfect people to teach online. They're the perfect people to create online yoga courses. And there's two reasons for this. So the first reason is that you're already, as a yoga teacher, you are already sharing valuable teachings with your students. Okay, so as a yoga teacher, you're teaching yoga classes, so you're already in a studio and you're sharing your message, you're sharing your version or your teachings of yoga with your students. So you're already teaching this stuff, and you know, you don't need to be an expert to help your students, and you don't need to have, you know, to teach yoga online, you don't need to have some fancy qualification that says you know how to put an online course together. So you can teach people what you already teach them in the studio, but you teach it online. And remember that, you know, many of your students are most likely in the exact same spot as you were before you did your yoga teacher training. And those people, they think that your knowledge is really valuable and really useful. So there's definitely something that you've learned about yoga that you can share online. And essentially all you're doing is, you know, the stuff that you teach in your classes and the transformation that you teach week after week, you're packaging that up into an online format. So that's the only real difference. You know, you're already teaching this stuff, but actually, you know, you're just packaging it up to share it online. And the great thing about that is that you can reach people all over the world. So just think about, you know, your the students that come to your classes week in, week out, those regular students that really, you know, relate to you and really resonate with you. Well, there are other people like them, those students, there are other people like that all around the world that you can actually reach. So you know, so that's the first reason, is that, you know, reason number one why yoga teachers are perfect people to create online yoga courses. Reason number one is that you're already sharing this stuff with your students. You're already sharing it in a studio. Now, reason number two is that you're relatable. You already have people who, you know, relate to you, they dig your teachings, they relate to your vibe. And these are the regulars that come back week after week. Okay, they love practicing with you because they feel a personal connection to you, and being able to learn something that they've been trying to do for years, okay, but from someone who feels like a friend rather than someone who's this unrelatable expert, well, that's actually really huge, and it's actually the big reason why there are lots of yoga teachers out there who are already generating extra income from teaching online. Okay, so don't discount the fact that you're relatable, and you have teachers who resonate with you, and they resonate with what you share with them. You have students that resonate with you. So bear with me one moment. For those people who are watching me on Instagram, can you hear me? We have a little, should be able to hear me. Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. So Jo has said she can't hear me. Hopefully you can. Okay, so they're the two reasons why why yoga teachers are perfect people to teach online. So all you need really is the right strategies to follow to do it successfully. Okay, you need the right strategies. So okay, so you might be down with this whole idea about teaching online now and thinking, okay, yeah, I'm relatable, I already share my teachings in the studio, maybe I have got something that I could share. So that's where I want you to be right now with me. So you might be thinking that, yeah, okay, maybe I could teach on yoga online and offer something online, but I just don't really know what I want it to be. I don't really know what I want it to be. So that's what today is about. So I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you some strategies. I'm going to give you some ideas to kind of get thinking about, if you taught online and offered an online course for your students, because there are yoga teachers out there offering online yoga courses, then what could it be? What could it be? Because there are, thousands of possible course ideas out there. Okay, there's so many things that you could craft and put together for your ideal students. Okay, and the key thing here is ideal students. So I've already talked about those people that resonate with you, those people that come back week after week. They're your tribe. They're the people that you are their teacher, and they dig you, they dig your vibe, they dig your teachings. They're your ideal students. So before you go into this, you have to understand who they are. You have to understand, what makes up my ideal students. What do they like? What do they don't like? What magazines do they read? Where do they go? What are their interests and hobbies? What are they struggling with? This is the key thing. What are my ideal students struggling with? Why do they come to my yoga classes? Why do they come back week after week? And so you need to go through this process of starting to understand, who your ideal students are and why they come to you, and where are they in their yoga journey that you can help them with. Yeah, so where are they in their yoga journey, and what is it that they seek to achieve through their yoga journey? What are they looking to do? Are they handstand? Do they really want to get into a handstand, or what is it that they really want to do, and why are they coming to your classes? So you need to have these conversations. You need to start talking to some of your regular students after class and start having some of these conversations and start to build a picture. If you don't know already and you don't know much about who these people are that are coming every week, you need to start doing that. So that's the first part. Because you want to be able to create something that your ideal students want and need. Okay, so another really great place to start this process is to reflect on yourself, and is to just look at, what you are good at and what you're passionate about. What is the conversation that you seem to always have with people? Okay, what is the thing that your friends and your family or your students come to you and ask you about, and when they ask you this question, you just light up? Yeah, what is that? What is that thing that just helps you to light up? So for me, it's marketing. I have lots of friends that come to me for marketing advice, and I light up about it because I'm really passionate about it. So what is your thing that you're really passionate about when it comes to yoga and sharing your message of yoga? So have a think about that, because those things are the best course topics. And also, you'll really enjoy creating your course as well, okay? So when you go into the course creation part, you're going to enjoy it because it's something that you're really passionate about. So you might be thinking, well, yeah, okay, Kelly, there are things that I'm passionate about, but I'm just not expert enough to teach that topic in an online course. And, you know, everyone has their own idea of what an expert actually is. Okay, so I'm going to give you the dictionary definition of what an expert is. Okay, so are you with me? Listen up. An expert in the dictionary: having or showing special skill or knowledge because of what you have been taught or what you have experienced. Okay, so the key point here is what you have been taught or what you have been experienced. And you guys are all, you know, fully qualified yoga teachers. You've been taught how to teach yoga, and you've personally experienced yoga as a student and also as a teacher. So that dictionary definition does not say that you have to be the world's #1 most knowledgeable expert in this course idea that you have. And that's really actually, that's crucial, because you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be the world's #1 most knowledgeable expert, because that's going to make you less relatable to your students, because you'd actually be too far advanced for them. You'd be too ahead of them, and you wouldn't be able to break things down in the right terminology, in the language. You'd be just too far removed from someone who's just starting out in this thing that you're going to teach someone. So you actually want to be able to relate to your students. You want them to be able to relate to you, and you just want to be a couple of steps ahead. Okay, does that make sense? So give me some feedback if that's making sense. So yeah, you just want to be one or two steps ahead. And it's important to note as well that it doesn't actually matter, you know, what it is you're teaching or how good your topic is, because the only reason that somebody is going to somebody is going to enroll onto your online yoga course is because they want the outcome. Okay, so have a think about this. I hope you guys have got a pen and paper and you're writing this stuff down. But it's because they want an outcome. They want a transformation, okay? They're looking to buy an online course. It's because you want to really achieve something. You want to learn something new. You need that guidance and support from your teacher to take you through that process and get you to the outcome, the transformation. That is actually the most important part of your course. It really and truly is the most important part of your course, okay? So I want you to have a think about it. You know, once you've kind of had a think about your passions and your skills and the things that you're really passionate about and interested about, and you've also had a think about you know, your ideal students and what they could possibly need from you, I then want you to start thinking about what could be the outcome or the transformation that my ideal students want to achieve. Because you don't want to create a course that's got 20 different goals or outcomes. You just want to have one or two main outcomes, because those courses are the courses that will sell better. And they're also easier to create, and they're going to be more helpful for your students. Okay, so we've talked about this. So we've talked about the things that you need to consider, the 3 things you need to consider. So there's your passion. You know, is this an idea? Is this idea or course topic something that I feel really passionate about, passionate enough to create and market and promote? You know, is this topic you know, do I have an interest in this? Am I truly interested in this, or am I just doing it because it seems popular? You need to be truly interested in it and passionate about it, okay? And then you also want to have a bit of skill in this topic, okay? You want to be skilled in this topic. You want to be able to teach people on the topic of your course. So where does your passion, you know, something that you really love and are interested in, where does that passion intersect with your skills, your teaching skills? So have a think about that. And remember, you don't have to be this expert to teach yoga online and to get people results. So don't think that, you know, this skill has to be something that you have to be really incredible at or an expert in. We've already talked about that. Okay, so it could just be something that you've been practicing for years and years and you've been getting better at over the last year or so. And now you want to help people to do the same, okay, for those people that are a couple of steps behind you. Okay, so then once you've got your passion and your skills, where does that then intersect with your people, your ideal students, and what they need? Because that intersection between your passion, skills, and your ideal students and what their struggles and what they really need, that's actually the sweet spot for your course idea. Okay, so that's actually the sweet spot for your course idea. So those are the things that you really need to be considering when you're thinking about, you know, what will be the topic for my online course idea. Is this making sense to everyone so far? Give me a little feedback or a thumbs up if it is. I love to get feedback from you guys who are watching on Instagram and also on Facebook. We've got some people watching on Facebook. Hey, Alethea. Hey, Liz. Hey, guys. Nice. Thank you for joining me. Brilliant. So that is making sense. So that's good. So by the time you get to the end of that point and you've done those things and you've worked through those little tips that I've given you there, then you're going to have some ideas. You're going to have some ideas at that point. Okay. So that's good. So you will have some initial ideas. So to build on those ideas and to kind of delve a little bit deeper into them, there are a few things that you can really do. Okay, so first up, you can create a survey. So you can use SurveyMonkey. It's a tool that I use all the time. And you can ask some questions so that you can start to dig it deep with your ideal students. So the purpose of this survey is to find out more information about your ideal students. So you might have already had those initial chats, maybe at the end of class when you've had some little conversations with your regulars. And now you want to delve a little bit deeper to really start to get a better understanding about what it is they need from you and what are they struggling with in their yoga practice. Okay, so what the key thing that you need to ask in this survey is, what's the number one biggest challenge that you're struggling right now related to XYZ, whatever it might be. Could be related to your meditation practice or related to, you know, practicing yoga at home, whatever it might be that's based on your kind of idea, your initial ideas that you've got, okay? That's what you want to find out. You want to find out what is their biggest challenge. So what is it that's stopping them, or what is it that's, you know, has become a block for them, that they're not able to do this thing and they need you to help them do this thing, okay? So you need to ask that. And you're asking them what their challenge is rather than what do you want to learn about. So don't ask them that. Don't ask them what do you want to learn about or what do you want me to teach you a course about. The reason I say don't do that is because generally people don't know what they want. People don't know what they want, but they do know what they're struggling with and they do know what their challenges are. Does that make sense? So don't ask them an open-ended question around, you know, what do you want me to teach you, or what do you want to learn about? Because you won't get the feedback that you need. You need to focus this survey on their challenges. What are their challenges and what are they struggling with, okay? Because they don't know the solution to their problem. They just know what their problem is, and which is why you need to ask them what is their problem, okay? So you'll do that. So use SurveyMonkey and you can just send it out to, if you've got an email list, which I hope you have, You can send it out to your email list. You can share the link on your social media. Talk about it on stories, even go live and talk about it. Just get some survey results in. Ask your regular students if they'll fill it out as well. Okay, and start getting that feedback, because it's so important. And when you get that feedback, things are going to start to click. Yeah, when you start reading what they're telling you, and they're telling you all about how the things that they want to achieve in their practice, things are really going to start to click for you. Okay, so you have to go through this process. So what else was I going to say? So the other thing that you can do, which is actually quite useful, is to get onto Facebook and get into some yoga groups, or maybe, if you teach meditation, get into some meditation groups and just have a little nosy around and do some research in the groups. So all groups have a search functionality, and you can type in some keywords that are related to your initial ideas that you've got, and just have a look through the conversations, because there are hundreds of yoga related Facebook groups. Okay, so there are people in groups on Facebook talking about yoga every single day. Okay, talking about their challenges, talking about their journey with yoga every single day. So just get on there, add yourself to some of these groups, and get involved in some of the conversations. Even post your survey in some of the groups if it's relevant, and the group admin allows you to do that. Just check that first. But you could add your survey in there. You could just ask a simple question. You could even maybe set up a little poll in the group just to ask a question and get some feedback from people around your initial course idea. Okay, so that's quite an easy one to do. And of course if you've got your own group, that's even better. You could use your own group to ask questions. I do this all the time in my Facebook group. So if you guys are watching on Instagram and you're not on the Digital Yoga Academy Facebook group, hop on over and join us. But I do this all the time. I ask questions and I do polls in there. So once you start to get this data back, once you start to receive some feedback from your survey and some of the research that you've done on Facebook, then what I want you to do is I want you to collate it in a spreadsheet. Okay, so you can use Excel or Google Sheets, whatever works for you, and just set up a spreadsheet. And at the bottom you can have different tabs for themes. Okay, so you'll start to see themes evolving when you read through your survey results. So this is a really good way just to collate the information and get a bit of a better snapshot of the data that you're getting back. Okay, so do that as well. It's just an easier way to collate everything together and to be able to look at it and analyze it. So what else was I going to share with you guys today? Okay, so the last thing that I want to share with you today is by the time you've got through this process, okay, so you've done the initial work around your own internal, your passions, your skills, and then you've really started to dive into what your audience want, what your students want. You've done a survey, you've had those initial chats at the end of your class, you've done some research online. So you'll start to have an idea by this point as to what you want to offer on an online course. So at this point, you need to validate it, okay? So we're not jumping into the course creation phase just yet, because actually you need to validate it, because the biggest mistake you can make is to create your online course and not validate it with your ideal students, because you don't want to create something, put it out there, and then nobody actually is interested in it because you've not validated it and you've not really double checked that this is the course that people want. Okay, so what I want you to do for this, to validate it, I want you to either arrange to meet face to face, with some of your regular students, okay? So the people who are coming back to you week in, week out, who hopefully you're quite friendly with and you have a good rapport with them. Ask them if they would go for a smoothie with you, and you can buy the juice after class, and just say, you know, I just want 20 minutes of your time, and I just want to talk you through an idea that I've got, and talk through it, you know, talk through your idea, get their feedback. The other thing you can do is do it on the phone. So just set up some calls with some of your ideal students. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, people who have been coming to your class. It might be people that are following you on Instagram. It might be people who are on your email list that have found you through a blog post that they've read online. So have a look at, you know, the pools of people that you have at your disposal who you believe are your ideal students. So that's really important, is that you get the feedback from people who you believe are your ideal students. Okay, so this should really help you to, you know, get started with this whole process of, you know, creating an online course. And creating an online course is an amazing thing to do as a yoga teacher, because you really do have knowledge. You've got knowledge that's transformational, and I'm sure you all want to share it. I'm sure you all want to share it, and it helps you, enables you to reach people around the world, which is a really incredible thing to, really incredible opportunity, because, you know, we're in a good place with yoga at the moment. You know, there are still millions and billions of people who are yet to discover yoga, or haven't, you know, are not able to go to a yoga class because they don't have a yoga studio near them. And actually they want to learn yoga, and they want to practice yoga at home. And, you know, they might be practicing on YouTube, they might be doing some YouTube videos, but there is value in you as a teacher putting together your course, okay? I know that there's lots of content out there, there's lots of yoga content out there, but there's value in you sharing your message, and there's value in you organizing and piecing together your online course that's going to lead to a transformation for your potential students. And those potential students are all over the world. They really are. So it's just up to you to find them and to create something that they're really going to love, okay? And I really believe that everybody can do this. I honestly believe that everyone has an online course in them just waiting to burst out. So I'm really happy to share this information with you today, and I hope that it's given you food for thought, and you know, maybe getting the creative juices flowing. But if you want to talk about it more, then come into the Facebook group and come and ask some questions there. I'm in there every single day, and I'm always happy to help and support. So I'm going to leave that with you now, guys. So that was your coaching session on how to find your online yoga course. I hope you found it helpful. And if there's no other questions, I don't think there are, then I will see you next week. All right, take care. Take care, everyone.